Okay guys, now I'm going to give you the answers to our chapter 3. Sorry, this is chapter 2, referring to question in page 37, call Bobby Yap. Now we have these questions here at the side. Okay, basically what they want you to do is they would like you to work out what is the chargeable income as well as the tax payable for 2018 and 2019. And what we see here in the example, it's they gave us basically for the two different years, 2018 and 2019, and we also noticed that in the 2 years they have given us business 1 and as well as business 2, and then we also have rental, and notice there's also interest, and the interest is from public bank as well as a loan to relative. We said this before in the class that when bank is paying interest to individual, it will actually be tax exempt. So basically this interest will be exempted from tax. This one will be tax exempt. And then you have donations. It gives us 3 notes here. Now first note is, please assume 20% of the expenses for business 1 is capital, and at this level when we see something that's capital in nature, we know that it's not tax claimable. Whereas for note 2, right, it says that business 2, their expense, please assume that 30% is disallowed. Now you know that when 30% is disallowed, basically it's telling you that you cannot claim. Then you notice that they have given us a list of donations. So in the list of donations, basically what we see here is cash to approved institution. Now that's basically charity, so we can claim that. And painting, now painting is donated to this thing called Yap Association, which is not approved. Alright, painting can only approve if you donate it to the art gallery or to the government. Alright, now the cash donation to library is claimable, but books is not, it must be cash. Then cash donation to sports activity, yes. Project of national interest, yes. Healthcare, yes. Medical equipment, yes. For these two, basically you have to restrict up to 20,000. Okay, that's it. So I intend to just do this with Excel at the side. Well, normally I would start my answers by shrinking the column size of cell A, just in case if you want to add anything, there's always like a cell that you can do. You don't have to start right from the top, so you can just start like the third line, second line. But that's because in the exam you don't have the function to add cell. You can't like insert or delete, so that function is not there. So if that's the case, we try to start like not in the first cell, first column or the first row. Okay, so the tax computation for Bobby Yap for year of assessment. Okay, so this is going to be 2 year. Now you might just want to drag this. Now we're going to have year of assessment 2018 and year of assessment 2019. So we can do this, merge the cell. We don't have a special shortcut in the exam, so you actually need to merge cell by right click and then format cell and you merge it. Alright, so that's what you have to do in the exam. So 2018 2019. Okay, let's line them to the center. Right, so let's begin off with business. Now, the way how you do the alignment in the exam is rather different, which I actually will show in the class. But it's really difficult to draw line, unlike in Excel where the drawing of line can be as simple as just to highlight the border and then you just click a shortcut like this. But in the exam, right, you don't have this function. So I normally would just suggest to student just use a simple technique like bold for heading, and then you don't bold if it's not a heading, that kind of thing. Okay, right, so we have gross, and you're supposed to minus. Now I just call this as tax deductible expense. That's your adjusted income. So what we have here is 30,000. Now we're gonna minus 20. Sorry, we're gonna minus 20% is not claimable, so that's 16. Then your adjusted income would be 14. Right, there is a balancing charge, right? So we have a balancing charge. Then we minus off the capital allowance. Now, if you want to put the brought forward, carry forward, if you think there is a need, you do it that way. Well, if not, then you can just add them up together. I leave it to you. It really doesn't matter. So in this case, there's a balancing charge of 1. And there's supposed to be a capital allowance of 18. So the CA absorb. Now in this case, it can only be 14, right? So the statutory income, how much would it be? 0. Okay. Now this will bring us to a carried forward figure, because technically you should have negative 17,000, but you only have 14,000 over here. So if you want, you can just put a note here, is up to you, that their CA carry forward to 2019 is 3,000. Make sense? Because again, 17, you absorb 14, so 3,000 is what you carry forward. Now, and in 2019, right, we have 65,000, 50,000 expenses, but you only claim 80%. Now, this is a formula, so you can copy the formula and paste, so it will then auto compute for you, so you get that 25. Now we don't have a balancing charge, but we have this 3,000, which is the brought forward CA from 2018, and then the current year CA is 10, so actually you get 13. So in that case, the CA absorbed equals to the same 13. So what is your statutory income? It's 12. Now, as I said, because we don't have this, I mean, we find it very tedious to underline in the exam. So what you can do is you just bold it, okay, to show that that's the answer. Now, this is business. Okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to label business 1, business 2. So in the exam, what you do, right, you cannot add line, so you just cut and paste. So this is business 1. Now that's how you can solve your problem. And let's go to business 2. Okay, for business 2, now something similar that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna have like the same description, so I can copy them over since it's the same description. So it's still like gross expense at BA, at BC minus BA, then minus capital allowance. Okay, for business 1, now my gross is 18, and 30% is disallowed, so actually it will be, now if you don't want to count, then just use formula lah. Okay, so it's 10,005, then your adjusted will be 7.5. Now I don't have a balancing charge for business 2, but I do have a balancing allowance, which is 1,005. You can see the figure here, right? It's actually here, 1,005. Okay, so and the capital allowance is 6,000. Now, and my statutory income will be exactly 0. Now, that's my SI. Okay, we can do year 2. It starts off with 20,000. Now the expenses will be 21 because 30% is not claimable. So your adjusted is a loss, right? So if you see if it's a loss, just put a 0, remember? Right, and in year 2, we have, oops, where is my question? Okay, we have a balancing charge, which is 6,008. And we also have a capital allowance of 2,000. So my statutory income is 4,008. Now take note that, okay, I'm just probably going to put here that's an adjusted loss or current year business loss, which is 1,000. Okay, in the exam, if you find that you want a bit more space, you can do this. You can merge the cell and wrap the text. So if you want to do that, merge the cell and wrap the text so that it will be like all seems to be together. Alright, so that's to do with the loss. Okay, so I've done with business 1 and 2. So we can now find the aggregate business statutory income, which is summation of this figure. Okay, so just take this, copy and paste. Now, and you're supposed to minus off the unabsorbed business loss brought forward. Now you do have a loss here, which is actually 5,000. Okay, but you cannot claim because you don't have any business SI. So again, you get 0. Alright, okay, so we've done with business 1, business 2. So what we're going to do is to move on to interest. Now the interest is from public bank, which is tax exempt, so 0. And then from loan to relative, now that's actually accessible, so 15. And then we have rental income, which is given as 54. Now basically that's it. So the aggregate income for 2018 would be 69, right? Now what you're going to do after aggregate is to minus current year business loss, which I don't have, and then the next one is going to be donation. So you got to come to this list. So in the list of donation, we have cash to approved institution, which is restricted. Okay, there's actually 3 donation that we restrict. There's cash to sports activity and cash to project of national interest. Now these 3 donation will be restricted to 7% of your aggregate income. Now what we can do is this way: 2,000, then the sports is 1,000, and the cash to national interest is 5,005. Now then we restrict to maximum 7% of aggregate income. Okay, let's just see if I take 7% of aggregate income. Now it's going to be 4,000 800. So this figure is clearly more than that, so in that case I'll just restrict it. Okay, then we're gonna have other donation, which include painting, which is not approved, and then we have cash to library, which is maximum restrict to 20,000. Now the amount is only 6,000, so no issue. Right, and then we have these books donated, which is not approved, so nil. Now followed by cash to healthcare, and also medical equipment. Now again, you can restrict to maximum 20k. So the amount was actually 20 and 8, but we will restrict to 20. Okay, so that's how you can present it. Now we can bold this to show that's a subtotal, and now we come to total income, and how much will it be? It's 38,170. Alright, so this is where you're going to claim tax relief, and the example say you only have a self relief which is 9,000, and we come to chargeable, that's our N. Okay, that's the CI that we have for Bobby Up in the first year. Now let's just go back to 2019. So in 2019, what we have here is unabsorbed business loss. Now remember last year we had the loss, which is 5,000, but we couldn't utilize the loss, so we're gonna carry forward, and this is where you're gonna see the loss coming in. So your net business SI is 11,800. Now we do have interest from bank, so 0, and the rental is 76. Right, so copy this and paste it. They just auto sum it for you. Now do you have current year loss? We do, right? Because here we have 1,000, so the current year loss is 1,000, and likewise, what's our donation? Okay, there's this 5,000 to approve institution, and there's 1,000 to the sports activity, and again, if we take 7%, it's going to be 6,146, right? Now since it won't exceed, so it will just be 6,000. No more painting, and this time the donation to library is actually 26, am I right? So you will claim maximum 20, and for healthcare it will be, now if you follow the consistent presentation, so I will put 10,000 here, and then we will claim 10,000. So what's my total income? Just copy over the formula, I just cast it for you, and then 9,000 is my relief, so that's my CI. Okay, so on the first 20k, now the tax rate, just refer back to your own tax rate table. Okay, so on the first 20,000, your tax would have been 150, and the next 9,170, you'll be paying tax at 3%. So 9,170, okay, sorry, 3%. Right, on the first 35, the tax would be 600, and the next 6,008, you'll be paying tax at 8%. So 6,008, 8%. Right guys, that's my tax payable. So just sum it. Same thing, copy, paste. Just gonna bold it and you do get a tax rebate, right? Because the CI does not exceed 35k, so you get a rebate of 400, so the net tax payable will be 2510. Alright, so that's the answer for Bobby. Okay, so I just want to show the answers again here at the end of the video, so that some students who just want to check their answers and without requiring to go through the whole thing can just refer to the end section of the video. Okay, this is basically 2018-19 business 1. Just check your figures. You might as well just pause the video to make sure you have time to run through the answers. Okay, now we come to business 2. Coming down again, that's the interest rental. Now then you can look at donation. This is all the donation figure. So let me just, okay, then that's the tax com. Alright, so that's the answers to Bobby Up. Okay, thank you.